Welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. Yep, it's me, Arden Moore. We're speaking with Cindy Marabito with Reunion Rescue. She has a big heart for pitties, and she's making a difference. I want you to check out her site. There's tons of tips and tricks we're going to get into, but you were talking about this one dog that you found one place to be able to foster. Continue.
Yes, it was 4 dogs. They were victims of a horrible cruelty case. And
Aw.
if you do go to my site, you just there's a link to the blog, and I've lost count of how many blogs with pictures
You
of
you
their
have very strong
transformation.
typing fingers, Cindy.
Yes.
I'm checking you out. Yeah.
Well, you can see all the pictures of these 4 from Bakersfield. From the beginning when they were just cowering in the back of their cages. And I called everybody I knew. I figured if I pulled one, then I could get 3 other good rescues I know to each pull one. I already had 2 talked into it.
Okay.
No place to board in California. And so the
Oh,
rescues are strapped. They're not able to pull. And any of the big rescues will tell you they have a good foster system set up, but the boarding is just shut down. And my find on this, I was shocked because, like I said, I moved back to Texas in 2005. When the situation's better in Texas than California, folks, we got
yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
And I
So what
pulled,
happened?
the last minute came, they were about to be put down, and I took a huge leap of faith, as I will do. And I said, give them to me. I called my good friend Angela, and I'm not going to give the name because the cruelty case they
Right.
came from, it's been
Right.
written
Right.
up and it's going to court. But Angela and Ruben are partners in a great refuge and rescue I work with. She said she'd board all 4 of them because I wanted to keep them
Nice.
together. Their family unit kept them together and kept them, I believe, to be able to withstand the horrible cruelty they were under. And so she sent Ruben. He drove 2 days and nights
Wow.
without stopping to get to the shelter. And the reason I pulled him was not just for the dogs. It was for the people at Bakersfield Shelter who, knowing that they were going to die, kept going in there and working with those dogs every day. I could not let that down. After they got out, they waited an hour and a half after the shelter closed for Ruben to get there so those dogs could
Very
get out
nice.
because they were
Yeah.
closed the next day. It was the first cruelty case with a bite that had ever in Bakersfield history been saved.
That's impressive. Well, kudos to you and to them for doing that. Let's talk about some things that might surprise people about pitties. And we mentioned that they're not a breed, they represent kind of a group. But tell us about the label Nanny Dogs.
Well, my favorite story is a sad story. I
Oh,
think the most
okay.
famous nanny dog, and we have all the footage to prove it, was Petey of the Little Rascals.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Petey, I mean, it was in the 30s and
yeah.
40s and on into the 50s, I too do believe. But anyway, Petey really was the face of all nanny dogs. He did
And he
what
had that black eye,
black
the eye
eye.
patch.
I've got him
Yeah.
downstairs
Okay, okay.
and the RCA dog.
Yep.
Um, no, Petey was an icon. He represented what they did. I mean, I'm a member of a couple of vintage groups on Facebook that send a picture out every day. You can look them up on Facebook. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't help it with knowing what I know, looking at these pictures, and they're sitting there posing in these old tintype
Yeah.
stills with their owners. How many of those men were fighting the dogs?
Yeah.
That's what they did. They fought them, and then they also babysat the kids. We don't like that, but it is part of history.
No,
Um,
they've been called because they were really had a rep for being good with kids. And talk about the personalities because I'm going to do a shout out to Jocelyn Shannon of Oceanside, California. She had a pitty named Stella. And Stella and my dog Chipper were really good friends, and she rescued Stella from a shelter. And I'm telling you, I never met such a fun, goofy dog that I did in Stella. They really can be a little clownish, right?
yes, they're very hammy. They don't want, they want to perform. And that's
Okay.
their downfall. That's how they've been misused. But they also genuinely, here's something that people don't know. Way back in those days when people were breeding pit bull
Yeah.
breeds, American Staffordshire, etc., they were breeding to be human friendly. Okay. If you reached in and the dog showed any human aggression, that dog was put down and culled from the strain. So that, even though all the breeding has kind of been messed up by some backyard breeders, I actually
Yeah.
do endorse. I think the dream is to have good breeding, but some
Yes,
of
I
these
agree.
backyard breeders have messed with the lineage. And
Yeah.
but what's held up is that human aggression has been culled from the pit bull breeds because of those old
Yeah.
commonplace practices. If that dog showed any eyeball, whale eye, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, they were they were culled or
Well, and the other
destroyed.
thing is there's another myth. It says that, that pitties have this locked jaw. But I was doing some research and did you know that the two breeds that have a more powerful bite are German Shepherds and Rottweilers? Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to go update my chapter 2 on Mookie, who was a German Shepherd. And he did have a soft mouth.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think any dog can
Any
look
dog can
at
bite
their
anyone at
teeth.
any time. Yeah. Yeah.
They can
But they
all
don't have
have
this
complete
locked jaw.
harm.
Right. Yeah. So tell us about Reunion Rescue. How can people help? You've been doing this for over 20 years. I love the name. Tell us a little bit about its purpose and how things are going.
Well, I'm going to go back to my 4 from Bakersfield.
Okay.
Um, the main dog isn't a pit bull. He's a white shepherd,
Right.
with a little husky. His name was Apollo, but I've changed it to House of Gucci, Paolo. I call him that all the time.
That's good. That's
And
good.
the 3 little blue nose miniature pocket pitties, and they're named after hip hop. I call them RZA, SZA, and Cardi B. And Cardi B is just as sassy as her namesake.
That's
They've
awesome.
really come out of their fear, and they found that amazing. Ruben pulled over and bought them hamburgers that first night, and boy, he was their friend for life.
Oh, yeah.
They
You
didn't want
had
to
me
get out
at,
of the car. Yeah,
you
they
had
didn't
me at,
want to get out of the car. It was the best
yeah.
place they'd ever been. So what I'm doing with it's costing me $1,400 a month to board them. So every book I sell goes to pay for that boarding.
Good.
I
And
don't
there's
make a
a place people
salary.
can donate, right? On Reunion Rescue,
Oh
they
yeah,
can make a donation.
and they can also go to the pet finder and sponsor one of these dogs if they like.
There you go. There you go.
But
I
what
like
we're
that
doing
idea.
is working together. The big thing in the book, the message, what I'm trying to get people to do is to change the situation in California and all over the USA. Let's work together, one dog at a time. That's all it takes. I started putting up a Day of the Dog on the Reunion Rescue Facebook page.
Yeah.
Say Day of the Dog of the Day. Either
Okay.
one, take your pick.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's because of Reunion Rescue, but I'm saying that idea of putting it out there, putting the message out there, this dog needs help. People see the picture, share it, and dogs were starting to get saved. Up until one in Ventura, Carl,
Mhm.
every dog that we put up was saved, but Carl was killed
Well,
before he
oh,
had the chance
yeah.
to even less than an hour after he was put up.
All
They
right. Well, I can't believe we only have about a minute left. So I
okay.
do want to say this is that your skills as a writer and a storyteller, I think, has played a role in helping save some of these pitties.
Well, they go listen to the link on Chirp of Pitbull Nation, and it tells just a little bit of Martha's story. And I think
Okay.
that is such an important story because I couldn't save her at the time. I didn't have a rescue, but she was that dog. She could have been in the top tier of drug detection dogs. She had that gift, but I couldn't save her and she wasn't adoptable. So she's an icon to me. Everything I do, I think about her every day. And
Okay.
I try to do my work to honor her and other dogs who really could be good adoptable pets.
Well, I salute you, Cindy Marabito. I want everyone to go to Reunion Rescue. I can't believe the shows are gone. It just poof, it's gone. But I do. I mean, from my heart to yours, you do such good work,